All right, we got Ty Sharp on the show today. Ty, thanks for coming on to the show, man. I appreciate you showing your face on BlackListed MX, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. So, how old are you, Ty?
24. I'll
24.
be 25 in March of this year.
Okay, and how did you start getting off into racing? When did it all start from you for you?
It's actually a pretty funny story. So when I was younger, there's always like these carnivals and stuff that they had here in town.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go to the carnivals and we would check out like some of the rides and stuff like that. But literally, I would spend almost the entire day just, they had like a little setup for quads
Mm-hmm.
out there, and I would just spend the whole day pretty much just running the quads around there, just riding them. And then I saw a kid on a dirt bike, and I was like, "Oh, that would be really, really cool to try that out one day."
Mm-hmm.
And then we fast forward maybe just like a couple months, I moved into a new neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and the minute we were pulling in, I just see all these kids riding outside the gate on quads, dirt bikes. There was someone with like a side by side, and I was like, "Oh, I need to get to know these people."
Yeah.
So after a few weeks staying there, I ended up talking to one of the guys who he had a Honda 50.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Oh, maybe can I try it out and see? I've never ridden a dirt bike before." So I get on it and I was cruising around. It was fun just cruising around on the little street area. And then I started getting confident and tried to go up a curb
Mm-hmm.
and just tucked the whole front wheel out, right?
Oh,
Going up it.
oh.
I slammed the ground. I was all cut up and everything. And then I went back. My dad, he was all worried. And then I was like, I think we need to look at getting an actual dirt bike.
Mm.
So, so then from there, the minute I fell down, I was just hooked. And ever since then, we just started looking at bikes. I got a little SSR, like
Mm-hmm.
110 pit bike. And
Mm-hmm.
then after that, we went to a KTM 65. And
Okay.
then just from there on, it's just been going.
When did you start racing?
The racing really started, I'd say about like 2013, towards the end of
Okay.
2013, and
Okay.
then going up from there.
Okay, and I noticed you're very diverse when it comes to riding, man. I mean, you do all kinds of different types of terrain. I mean, you do flat
Hmm.
track, supermoto, motocross, supercross futures. I think you've even done a desert race. I mean,
Yes,
why so many different variations for you?
I just like riding the motorcycle. Here, being in Vegas, we don't really have just any tracks that are like really nearby. So
Hmm.
anytime I get the opportunity to ride, I just try to go do it just to have fun on the bike.
With all those variations and not so many tracks close by, I mean, how often do you actually get a chance to even ride?
We have a place that's maybe about an hour outside of Vegas called
Hmm.
Sandy Valley MX,
Okay.
and that's kind of where I mainly do most of my practice. It's right near State Line.
Okay. Now, do you spend more time doing more moto, or do you kind of mix it up more often? Are you? I mean, like, how does your schedule work for something like that when you're doing so much?
Just mainly moto. Every
Okay.
once in a while, I'll go out to like just the dry lake bed, the desert, and stuff
Hmm.
like that, and cruise around just to
Hmm.
keep the feel. But most of the time, it's just going to the local track.
Okay. Obviously, you love riding,
Hmm.
but are you trying to make it into a career? Are you trying to do something with it, even though you're 24 years of age?
Mainly, the biggest thing is just to explore more places, meet people,
Hmm.
and just have a lot of fun with it.
Okay. Do you
Yeah,
want to?
so
Do you?
far it's met a lot of people.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry for cutting you off there, but
No problem.
are you trying to be pro, or you want to make it to in the pro ranks? Because you're right now you're a B class or C class rider.
B class.
You're a B class rider. Are you? Do you want to
Hmm.
turn pro? Because you moto fairly often.
Yeah, no, still the pro thing wasn't fully on the radar right now. It
Hmm.
just kind of is more about just having fun and just getting to ride my bike at a bunch of different places. Just
Hmm.
trying to travel as much as I can and just see all the different tracks and how things are in different places.
Man, well, you're really into it for a person who's not really looking to turn pro. Because I think you got like three bikes. You got a 150 two stroke, a 250
Yeah.
four stroke, and a 350 four stroke.
Hmm.
Why so many different variations, and which bike has more hours on it?
Uh, Honestly, actually, the two-stroke has kind of the most hours on it,
Okay.
and we just try to different builds and stuff like that
Hmm.
throughout the years. Some of the people that I've met, I've been able to connect really well with certain companies
Hmm.
and been able to manage different deals and sometimes when I come across a good deal, it's just certain ones you can't pass up.
Okay.
And so we just get the different ones, and then I like to just build them up, take videos, photos, things like that.
You're also a graphic designer as well too, right?
Yes.
And you do your own graphics and jerseys, and I take it like what you're wearing now, is that something that you've done as well?
Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
We do full custom motocross graphics. The thing I kind of try to specialize in is I try to just keep it really one-on-one with the customers that I deal with.
Mhm.
We really try to make it to where when you get a kit, it's going to be completely unique to you. We
Mhm.
want to do something to where it's not semi-custom or you're not limited to certain patterns or anything. We just want it fully custom any way you like it. That's
Hmm.
what our whole goal is.
No, that's what's up. And so, if somebody was in the Vegas area or surrounding area and wanted to kind of go with your product, how do they get a hold of you?
They can check me out on Instagram. It's
Mhm.
at Pinned Motorsports. And we
Okay.
also have a website at pinnedmotorsports.com.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when's your next race, man? Are you riding a two-stroke on your next race?
Actually, I'm just finishing now getting my 250 back together, getting
Hmm.
it all built up, ready for the new racing season. So the next race will be March 5th. This one will be at Western Raceway
Okay.
in White Hills, Arizona.
Hmm.
And then after that, we have another one. I just saw earlier that the Supermoto is coming back in April.
Okay.
So I kind of am keeping that one a little bit on the radar too.
Okay, well, that's what's up, man.
Hmm.
Very diverse, keeping that diversity going on in the motorsport, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, dude. Now you run 329, man. I know you were running number three, and I know a lot of guys have reasons behind their numbers. I'm one guy who does. I run a number
Hmm.
724 when I do ride, but that number stuck
Okay.
with me for. I used to run numbers just to run numbers because I wanted a certain look on my bike. But then
Yeah.
I changed it up, and all my numbers now have meanings, and a lot of guys continue to carry out that meaning. You went from number three to number
Hmm.
329. Why the change, and why are you stuck with 329 now?
So for 329, we realized that going to do just kind of more of the other amateur races and things that are a little bit just outside of the local track, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably best to have a three-digit number than just
Mm-hmm.
a single number.
Mm-hmm.
And then the three, since my birthday is March 3rd, it's 3-3. And then
Mm-hmm.
my dad's birthday is 5/29.
There you go.
So we decided to put the three from mine and then the 29 from his. So we just
Mm-hmm.
combined it. So now I have 329. It's
Nope.
mine and my dad's birthday.
There you go. Now, do you
So
have
yeah.
any support out there that's helping the number
Uh, yeah,
329?
so yeah, so for right now, I my biggest support is my mechanic, Tony
Mm-hmm.
Berluti.
Okay.
He is just really, really good. He helps me a ton with all the bike work and just different things that go on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the other companies, Rhino Power. I've been with them since I believe 2014.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's been a really long time with them.
Mm-hmm.
The Mika Metals, they help out a lot. And then also just mainly my dad. He's the one that helps kind of make everything possible, and we do all of this together.
Right on. And your Supercross. Let's talk about your Supercross Future Race. That was the race that was in Vegas that you did.
Yes,
So that was a hometown amateur Supercross race. How'd you make out in that, man? How was that experience for you?
that one was really cool. That was the first time riding like a real actual Supercross track, and
Mm-hmm.
it was good. The day it started out a little bit rougher. I was struggling with the whoops a little bit. I
Mm-hmm.
tried to just get that part figured out. Even if you go slow through whoops, they're so big that it's just hard to go through it.
They weren't knocked down
So
prior to that. They didn't build them up for the pros. For the amateurs, they didn't knock them down a little bit, or they were full on Supercross ropes.
I think they might have knocked it down a little bit, but they
Mm-hmm.
were still really peaky and they were far apart. So
Okay.
even if you tried to slow down and roll through it,
Mm-hmm.
the bike would still start to just get a crazy hop, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just really tricky to control.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing too is actually I fell over one time in the whoops, and then so someone came over to help me get the bike up, and it
Mm-hmm.
was Ricky Carmichael.
Oh, really?
And I was like, "Oh, what? That's crazy! I didn't even realize." So that was funny. But then, no, after that, the day it was going pretty good. I got a horrible start in the heat
Mm-hmm.
race, but then I
Mm-hmm.
ended up making my way to third, and then I think there was only like 2 laps left to go, and I was
Okay.
going through one of the on-off sections, and a
Mm-hmm.
rider who I was lapping, he cut over right when I
Mm.
went to the on section, and we just slammed into each other, and I flew off the track, and I was pretty beat up. The bike was beat up, so I wasn't able to finish that one.
Okay, okay. So you have
But
any
it was a
other?
good experience.
Okay, that's good, man. That's what's up. You have any other championships or anything like that that you know completed like a complete series that you did and you pointed?
Yeah, one we did was the this was at Mesquite
Mm-hmm.
MX,
Mm-hmm.
and that's in Mesquite, Nevada. They
Okay.
had a amateur Supercross series
Oh,
out there.
okay.
I think it might have been maybe 4 or 5 rounds. It was
Mm-hmm.
a whole championship, and I ended up winning that one in the 450C and 250C class.
Oh, wow. So you spend time on the 450 as well too, huh?
Yes.
Man, you're
Hmm.
super diverse on all kind of bikes and all different types of layout, man. That's what's up, dude. You don't. I mean, I see a lot of guys kind of going moto to GNCC or certain
Hmm.
different, but not everything. I mean, you kind of do
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? It's interesting that you do something like that. I remember I used to ride flat track back in the days when I was on the 80, 85, and this
Uh-huh.
was years in Northern California. And there was a guy who used to teach me who pretty had a decent career. His name was Rusty Holland. He was a 125 guy
Okay.
back in the days, and he rode for Pro Circuit and a few other guys. But I remember he was
Hmm.
teaching me how to ride flat track, and it's different, man. It's definitely different, but it's good for moto. It keeps you good on moto as well too, and being
Exactly.
diverse in general, helps you out regardless in moto. I think they all
No,
kind of I
definitely.
think they all kind of help each other out in a way, man. Just in all the different types of
Hmm.
terrain and timing involved and everything like that. So it's good to see you out there, man, being diverse and
It's a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah, keeping your dream going, man. But well, Ty, man, I just want to wrap this thing up, man. Is there anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you want to give before we finish this up?
Um, yeah, just want to give the main shout out, like I said, to my dad for kind of helping me just get all of this going.
Mm-hmm.
Again, my mechanic, Tony Berluti,
Mm-hmm.
um, Rhino Power, like I said, for always staying with me, Micah
Mm-hmm.
Metals,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say, and just anyone else if I forgot, they always just they do a lot for me, just helping out. X Trig is another company that they help out a ton with
Okay.
getting clamps for all my bikes, everything like that.
Okay.
And I recently just had some suspension work too done through the AEO company out
Mm-hmm.
in California.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited to see how this whole thing goes. I hear a lot through, like a lot of good things through that company.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. Like I said, this year we got the bike all set up. The 250 is getting together, and we plan to do a lot of racing, a whole
No.
lot of racing, keeping the fitness all together and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that.
That's
It should be
good.
good.
That's good, man.